Okay, I have a question to start out this new year. If you were, say, a billionaire or a mega millionaire who owned major corporations that control everything from oil and agriculture to how Americans shop and what they drive, how we access healthcare, the devices we use, how we get information, the price of housing, food, and more, and you were using your massive wealth, not necessarily to make life easier or more affordable for ordinary Americans, but rather to just make more money, how would you handle the inevitable backlash when average Americans figure out they're getting played and paying higher tax rates than you while earning a fraction of what your CEOs and stockholders rake in, and also paying more for literally everything? How would you keep the anger at bay, forestall a storm the Bastille revolution? Well, one thing you could do is build high walls to live behind, hire private security, and travel around in an armored car. That might keep you safe from the teeming masses. Kind of isolating, though. Or you could get millions of average Americans to take your side, root for you, and even fight harder for you and your wealth than they do for themselves. Get them to make your priorities their priorities. Maybe even get them to fight other non-rich people, immigrants and minorities, and anybody but you and your fellow billionaires. Okay, well, how would you do that? Because that would be one hell of a magic trick. Back in the 1980s, Rush Limbaugh became a radio powerhouse by enthralling mainly white working class men, truck drivers, cops, and other non-college educated blue-collar types who spent their workdays in their cars or other places where they could tune into AM radio for hours. AM radio networks saw the potential profit in this and syndicated his show to hundreds of rural and small-town AM radio stations to pump the Limbaugh show for hours a day. So Rush Hudson Limbaugh III of the prominent and affluent Limbaughs of Girardeau, Missouri, could lean into his golden microphone and tell his audience of ditto heads, as he called them, that real Americans like them were having their pockets picked by the welfare queens, the brown immigrants, and the feminazis. They were the ones making white working class men's lives worse. Not the Reagan Revolution, which ended pensions, gutted unions, and slashed away at Lyndon Johnson's Great Society programs. No. It's the poor who are the problem, not the rich. He was so good as a broadcaster, one of the best ever in the business, frankly. He even helped radicalize Clarence Thomas, according to a documentary by PBS Frontline.
He would listen to Rush Limbaugh as he was doing a long commute, and he would have court staff tape record it so he could listen to it when he was commuting.
Limbaugh, who ultimately became a billionaire, fit the 80s and 90s perfectly, the lifestyles of the rich and famous era, when